Everything you've been told about language learning is wrong. I speak 12 languages, and I'm about to show you the shocking truth behind fluency. Forget about Duolingo, forget about textbooks, classes, comprehensible input, all that nonsense. All of that is a waste of time. If you watch the rest of the video, I'm going to change the way you look at language learning. I'm going to help you learn languages 10 times faster and actually speak them fluently and confidently in the real world. They'll tell you that you just need to listen and watch videos for the next 6 months, a silent period. Lies. That's why you're still struggling after years. You should dive headfirst into real, usable conversation sentences from day one. Imagine actually speaking the language immediately. That's what you want, right? If you think that's impossible, keep watching the video because I'm about to blow your mind. And I'm not talking about grammar drills or any of that nonsense. All of that is extremely boring and ineffective. Even the comprehensible input mouth breathers know that. I'm going to show you how to learn grammar naturally and fast without studying. You'll simply learn a lot of sentences that include all the grammar, and once you know the sentences, you can understand them, you can use them, you know the grammar. You didn't learn grammar before you learned to speak your own language, right? So yeah, I'm going to show you how to learn grammar effortlessly. And it's not even all that important. What really matters is vocabulary. You need to learn a lot of words, because if you don't know the words, you will not understand the language, and of course you won't be able to speak. I'm going to show you how to learn words way faster. A lot more words. You can master the vocabulary of a language quickly if you apply all these techniques that I'm about to show you. That's really my secret weapon. Being able to learn thousands of words and useful sentences quickly. Because once you've got those, you're able to understand and speak the language. And if you think that's impossible, I'm about to prove you wrong. I'll show you the exact techniques you need to use to learn thousands of words and sentences quickly. Also, if you are afraid of speaking, or you sound like a robot when you speak, or you make lots of mistakes, I'm about to show you how to fix that as well. I'll show you the exact techniques you need to use to learn to speak fluently, with confidence, good pronunciation, and without making that many mistakes. I've developed a few basic exercises that you can do on your own that are really simple, and if you work hard, you'll become fluent extremely quickly. Also, if you're struggling to understand native speakers, and you'd like to watch series or YouTube videos in the language, but you don't really understand, or you don't understand native speakers in real-life conversations, I'll give you the solution for that as well. To be able to understand native speakers, you need to know all the words that they're using and what those words sound like when native speakers use them in real conversations. That's it. And I'll show you exactly how to acquire those skills. So how do you actually do all of this? Very simple. I'll explain it to you step by step. First, you need to write down everything you want to be able to say. Write a list of all the situations and conversations you think you will have in the language, all the topics you normally talk about, and then you learn every single sentence you want to be able to say in those situations, in those interactions, and about those conversation topics. Write everything down. Those are your language islands, your core sentences that you need to learn really, really well. Because if you learn those really well, you'll be able to talk about pretty much everything you normally talk about. So you write everything down, you translate it, you create audio files, and you drill those sentences as many times as necessary until you can say them perfectly. You take those audio files and you binge listen to them. Put them on your phone and you listen to them every single day until you know them by heart. You also have to repeat them aloud over and over and over again. I'm talking about tens of thousands of repetitions. You take 5 to 10,000 useful, relevant sentences, and you listen and repeat until you get over 100,000 reps. Sounds like a lot? It's really not. If you work hard, you can get it done in a few months. And like I said earlier, you need to know thousands and thousands of words. Massive amounts of vocabulary. Because if you don't know the words, you can't understand the language, and of course you can't speak it. So you need to know all the most common words and a lot of the less common ones as well. You need to memorize thousands of them with mnemonic associations and then review them with example sentences. Over and over again. Read and listen to the lists of example sentences over and over again until you understand everything. You also need to do a lot of speaking training. You can't get good at speaking unless you speak a lot. And the best way to train your speaking skills is on your own. You don't need a teacher. You don't need anyone. You don't need native speakers. You can shadow sentences all day, every day on your own, listen to them and repeat aloud. And you can also translate into the language from your language and then check if you said it correctly or not. That way you're also getting correction. You learn to think in the language by translating into the language, then you check and you correct your mistakes. If you want to become fluent fast, you should be doing this all day, every day. And finally, you should also be listening to the language a lot. You need to listen to the language a lot, but listening alone won't make you fluent. You need to do all the previous exercises as well. Don't fall for the comprehensible input nonsense. Those people are lying to you. If you're serious about becoming fluent, you need to do a lot of speaking practice from day one. But you need to understand native speakers as well. Once you can easily understand the example sentences of the massive lists of vocabulary, when you listen to them, you should start listening to native speaker content as well. I'm not talking about dumbed down YouTube channels for beginners. I'm talking about interesting content by native speakers for native speakers. Things you would listen to in your native language. Find content you're interested in and start listening to it. You can combine this with more and more memorization of vocabulary, and the more vocab you know, the easier it will be to understand native speaker content. And eventually you will understand everything. And that's it. This is the exact blueprint I've used to learn over a dozen languages. So if you want to stop wasting time on ineffective methods, watching thousands of hours of nonsense on YouTube about how to learn languages, start implementing all of this today. There's a link in the description for my free 30-day language challenge. It's an intensive 30-day program to learn to understand and speak any language as fast as possible.